RFK Jr., can you believe it? He ends up cutting off a whale's head, putting it on top of his car, and taking it home while his children in the back seat wore bags over their heads so that all of the whale juice dripping out of the whale head while it came in through the windows and splashed in their faces. They had a bag over their head and a hole in their mouth. The daughter of this monster said that this was just a regular day with dear old dad, and while people were flipping him off driving by and screaming and yelling at them, he literally he does weird things with dead animals. The guy's got a necrophilia situation going on. I think Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He found a dead bear and he put the dead bear in in Central Park and staged an accident to make a joke, and then it was a mystery that consumed the city a few decades ago. He came clean. It was him. He also eats dogs. No, he doesn't eat dogs. He says he doesn't, but he says he would eat any animal that lives, just not humans or dogs. Makes me think he would both eat human and dog. But he heard that there was a dead whale washed up on shore. And you know what he did, Bartleby? He went down there with a chainsaw and cut the fucker's head off. That would not be my first. Look, if your first idea, if your first instinct is to grab a chainsaw and head down to the beach when you hear that a whale has been beached, you've got some issues you've got to start working on, buddy. I know a Palestinian liberation organization dude killed your dad. I know. It was a tragedy. The world, he was killed in California. I mean, it probably helped shape who I am in some ways, just because in California, we still talk about RFK getting killed. Your dad was murdered in front of everybody. I know it's bad, but man, you got to work on these demons. You got to seek some mental health, bro. You got some demons. I don't know who else hurt you or if it was just that one horrible thing that happened, but it seems like a lifetime of trauma, RFK Jr. Bobby, you gotta. I mean, I know you're really into Trump, and you've got the dysphonia now. He talks like that. He talks like he's possessed by that devil in The Exorcist. He sounds like Linda Blair in The Exorcist. It's horrible, man. Something's going on with you, Bobby. Bobby, you gotta do something about this, man. You're being investigated now. He's saying it's big deal. Look, they're investigating something that happened a decade ago. What's the big deal? You can't punish me now. The statute of limitations. It's like, yeah, bro, maybe they can't punish you, but they're still going to investigate it because it's creepy. Maybe they can't put you in jail for it, but everyone should know what a weirdo you are and what kind of crimes you've committed. I mean, after all, when they got there, the whale had no head, and it was a mystery what had happened to the whale. Well, to the whale's head. Who would do such a thing? And all these years, the people whose job it is to take care of the corpses that wash up on shore and to find out what killed them, what parasites might have infected them, stuff that scientists do when things happen. You got there first and chopped their head off, and the scientists had to try to figure out what the F happened. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Bobby, you need some help, man. God damn, you're sick. You're sick. The fact that your first it's like if someone finds out that you did something really crazy in your past, your first instinct should not be, well, you can't punish me now. Neener, neener, neener. Nah, 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 nah. Like, that should not be your first. If that's your first instinct, Bobby, you got big issues, my friend. Bobby, holy shit. Like, I'm so glad that you went with Trumpster, man. You belong in that Trumpster fire. You belong in there with the weirdos. Holy crap! What other weird shit are we gonna find out about you eating dogs, carrying around corpses of bears because when you found a roadkill of a baby bear, your first thought was, "I'm gonna skin him and eat him. I'm gonna skin him and eat him." You're a creep, man. There's something. No wonder you got that brain worm eating dead animal. You probably got the brain worm from eating the whale head. You creep. Like you only get brainworm a couple ways. You know what I'm saying? You get it from eating bad meat, usually exotic meats. They got parasites. Parasites don't just appear in your goddamn head. You got to do something weird, like I don't know, chop off a whale's head with the chainsaw before anybody else gets there, so that you can eat the whale head. He ate it. He ate the whale head, y'all. I mean, listen to his the former independent presidential candidate disclosed the investigation on Saturday while campaigning outside of Phoenix. He's talking, it discloses it because, yeah, it's so funny. So funny. He took it home 2 decades ago. Kennedy's daughter recalled the whale incident in a 2012 interview with Town and Country magazines, which recently resurfaced as she shared extensively on social media. Kathleen Kennedy said when she was 6 years old, her dad got word that a dead whale had washed ashore. He got a chainsaw, cut the whale's head off, and strapped it to the roof of their minivan for a 5-hour drive home. 5 hours they drove with the whale on top of his minivan. Every time we accelerated on the highway, whale juice. Ugh! You mean putrid fluid seeping out of somebody's head? Whale juice would pour into the windows of the car, and it was the rankest thing on the planet. Kathleen Kennedy says we all had plastic bags over our heads with mouth holes cut out. Oh my fucking God. God damn. Think about this. You're 6 years old. This is how you were raised, and people on the highway were giving us the finger, but that was just normal day to day stuff for us. National Marine Fisheries Service confirmed Monday that authorities are investigating but declined to elaborate, citing a policy against commenting on open investigations. The agency, part of the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, enforces federal laws, including the Marine Mammal Protection Act and the Endangered Species Act. He violated the Endangered Species Act. It's an endangered species. Kennedy told a crowd of Trump supporters in Glendale, Arizona, that he received a letter saying they were investigating me for They're investigating me for collecting me a whale specimen 20 years ago. A whale specimen? You collected a whale specimen, doctor? You did? I didn't know you were a whale scientist. Robert? Bobby? Do you mind if I call you Bobby? Without confirming or denying he took the severed whale head, Kennedy said the deadline to bring charges it passed long ago. You can't even do anything. This is gossipy nonsense. I'm not interested in feeding the feature of mainstream media. The whale carcass is the latest bizarre episode, including Kennedy and a dead animal. The latest. If if your name is associated with the latest weird thing that you did with the dead animal, well, Bobby, oh, Bobby. Oh, humanity.